Hello, welcome to the PassioKnit Spinner. This is a tutorial on how to finish the colorwork headbands that I have designed. So this is headband number 1, but it also works for every other headband that is done in this way. This means colorwork and then seamed together to look like it has a knot. What we are going to do first, after binding off, is leave a nice long tail for seaming, and every other end needs to be woven in. So for doing that, you can just turn it inside out for a bit and leave your hand in. Find where your ends are coming from. They're here. So leave your hand in like this, so you cannot poke through, so nothing can go wrong. And now I'm going to weave in those ends, and I am going to snip them off, but I'm going to leave about a centimeter of the yarn end hanging. And then I am going to wash it. I will come back to you to show you how to block this in the right way. But for washing, I always wash my knits in a warm water with a bit of wool wash. I will put in a color catcher this time because I have white as a background color and I don't want that to turn into a light blue, just in case, to be on the safe side. And for the water temperature, I always go by my personal rule of thumb, and that is, if I want to bathe in it, my yarn will want to bathe in it as well. Not too cold, not too hot. If my hands feel comfortable, the knit will feel comfortable as well. So steps 1 and 2, weave in all the ends except for one long end in the main color to seam together. Everything else weave in, snip off, leave a bit of a tail, and then wash and rinse. And once that is done, I will come back and show you the blocking. I have now washed and rinsed my headband, and now the important part is how to block it. So I still have the end attached that can tell me where the spot was, where I switched from one round to the other. When you knit in a round, the point where your round begins will be a bit off, and you can easily tell that because the pattern will be weirdly off as well. And what we will do now is we will put that off part into the middle, and that will later be on the inside of, touching our head, so that you will not be able to tell. Now, just wiggle it a bit so it will not relax, and you can see how it's off and not super great looking. But just do that, wiggle it around, make sure it's in the middle. And then I will let it completely dry once I put it down. Now, I have put it here, and now I can stretch it out. You can get a tape measure to measure your headband to be 50 centimeters long. You can also pin it if you want to, but I prefer not to pin things like a headband, because if I pin it too far out, so let's say like this, and I do that then again here, I will have those weird spikes, and I don't want that. I just eyeball it to make sure it is roughly the same width. You can measure if you want to. Okay, now here is the ridge, the little jog between needles 1 and 4. And I am now going to let this completely dry. And once it is dry, I will come back and show you how to seam it together so it has that beautiful little knot. Okay, the headband is now dry. I ended up measuring the length to make sure that it is 50 centimeters, and you can just barely see both ends in the video. But the side showing up right now is the one with the jog that we talked about. The first thing we need to do now is flip it over so the nice side is looking at our towards our face. Now I have some little clips. I use those teeny tiny hair clips to clip my knitting together before seaming, so everything will stay in place. I'm going to select a needle. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to use for a blunt tip needle, and then I'm going to thread in my end here. And then I will show you how to fold it so you get that really nice knotted look. Okay, so what we will do, we will use both ends, nice side up, right? Important. Now I'm gonna use the first side here. Just make sure that all of your floats are on the inside, and I will fold this in half. Nice side, basically on the inside now. Fold it in half like this, and you can put a little clip in to make sure that the floats stay away. I'm going to put one here, floats in, put one here, just to keep it how it's supposed to be. And just for now, put a clip in here as well. Other side, this is where my needle is. Again, make sure that all of the floats are on the inside. I'm gonna pin it. And then other side, little clippy. And again, fold this in half. Floats inside, go away. Okay. Now you see that the yarn end that we're going to use for seaming is very conveniently now at the edge here. Okay, now what we're going to do, it looks like this now, a bit weird. We're going to fold this together. So I want you to take the first side, lay it half over the top of the other side, and roll it around the edge. And then you have this end left here, and you will roll this around this edge. And that's basically all you do. You can remove all the clips now. Hold it really tight in your hand so that nothing gets lost. And make sure that you have one side, other side, one side again, other side again. And it looks like this, like a very, very thick bit of knitwear. Now you use your needle and you have to seam all of this together. Now I'm left-handed, so I'm going to have to switch this a bit around so I can use my left hand for seaming. I am going to have to try to get all of the layers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be 8, shouldn't it? Okay, I think I got all of them. Now make sure to not seam too far down, because then your knot will be so bulky that it's going to be really, really hard to wear. And then just go back again through all of your layers. Make sure you catch all of those layers. It does look like this, you know, and pull your needle through. And then come back. Pick up all 8 layers, not 6, like I did the first time. It needs to be 8. And it is 8 because it's doubled, you know, it's a double layer. If you do a headband with a single layer that you have knit back and forth on straight needles, it's only 4 layers you have to go through. But this is 8 layers. And pull tight when you pull your needle through. The good thing is when you're done and you flip it around and you realize that you didn't really catch everything, you can just flip it back and make a second seam a tiny bit below the first one. And that way you can ensure that you caught everything. So what we're going to do now is check how it looks on the correct side. For that, you just put your finger on the knot and flip it out. And it looks like this. And you see here, didn't catch that. So I have to go back and make sure that this disappears. And it is right at the end here. So I can just go a tiny bit below and seam through once more. No one will know this. You are going to know, and if you don't tell anyone, you're the only one who knows. Now, flip it back again. And that is it. This is what it looks like now. I'm still not happy with this. I still have to go through one more time. Where does this layer come from? Where does it belong? Somewhere down here. Okay, I think now I have it. Check again. Yes, now I caught it. Good. Now, this is how you do a knot in a knotted headband. And this is what you... Snowflower headband. This is called Snowflower. But it also works for all the other colorwork headbands that I have. This is what it will look like in the end. Super cute. And I hope you like it. Bye.